Coach Philip here with a recap of Temecula Valley Summer Competition in 2026. So as I mentioned, I became the first or the oldest person to solve a 6x6 cube in under 2 minutes. I've been practicing 6x6 pretty seriously for the last couple months. From the cubicle in May, special edition one, magnets on the corners. Anyway, I've been doing mainly 7x7, but I think it's transferred over to 6x6. Been doing 5x5, and these kind of all bleed over. But all this to say that I don't think I really ever touched it about 60 days ago, and I got my first sub 2. This is important because I feel like I have a lot of room for progress, and I think I can get under 130. I don't know how long it's going to take. It doesn't really matter how long it takes. If I'm 37 right now. I became the oldest person to solve under 2 minutes. If somebody wants to fact check me and prove otherwise, that's fine. But I think by the time I turn 40, I can definitely have sub 130, given the fact that I've had this kind of progress in the last 60 days on 6x6 and 7x7. If you look at my results from Western Championships, that's when I first started trying to do Yao on 6x6. It was like 230 something, 239 average. I went from a 239 mean to a 207 with a sub 2 single in like 60 days. So we will see what kind of progress I make on big cubes. But big cubes seem to be the area which I can most improve when I was more competitive. Mainly focus on 3x3 in one hand. I also became probably the oldest person to have a sub 15 one-handed average in competition. The reason why this is important is because imagine the tables were reversed, and it used to be the case that it was college-age people who were cubing, but over the years it became younger and younger to now. You have Theodore, 6 years old, Xuan Yi, 8 years old, Yi Hang, 12 years old. You have literal kids leading the sport. But imagine if it were a bunch of 40-year-olds and 50-year-olds dominating the sport. If you had a 8-year-old come in and get a sub 10 average, let's say that 40 and 50-year-olds were getting 5 seconds, 4 seconds on average. You had an 8-year-old come in and get a sub 10. That'd be pretty noticeable. So the fact that as an older cuber, I'm still able to do really good times, and I'm actually progressing and I'm getting faster than what I used to be, I think that's kind of an example to show people that, really the mindset that you have about you aging or you not being the right kind of person to do this, or I'm not going to be as good as I once was. That's all the negative things you tell yourself. And if you reframe your mindset, if you tell yourself I'm not as talented as everybody else, you're going to start to believe that and it becomes your reality. But if you tell yourself I'm pretty talented at this, I think I can do this, then it becomes a matter of you putting in the work and doing it. And so when you have positive thoughts about yourself, those thoughts then lead to positive actions to kind of fulfill that idea you have of yourself. So if I believe I'm pretty talented and I'm good at this, I'm going to keep working hard to fulfill that, and it kind of feeds on itself. So then it becomes a reality, and then you get a really good time in competition, right? So me doing this at my age with the amount of kids that I have, triplet babies who are 2 years old and a 4-year-old, we're trying to potty train all these babies and change their diapers and feed them, and they're throwing my cubes across the room and trying to find time to practice. These are all challenges that I have in my life right now, but I'm still able to set PRs. I'm still able to do what nobody else my age is doing, despite having all these obstacles. So in cubing, there is a deficit of stories. It usually is the case that you have some young prodigy and all they do is cube and they're really fast. Well, I have a story. I had a story before I had kids. I came from an Indian reservation in Southern California, one of the Indian reservations in California. I became the first person in my family to go to college. I went to UCSD, set up the first UCSD Rubik's Cube competition. I became one of the fastest in the world, 6th fastest in the world, despite being born in an environment that's very not conducive to that and having no support growing up. So I have a huge story in itself. So I had a story before my current era, but in this era in particular, my story of being a triplet dad with a toddler and still trying to find ways to improve myself and set records, it becomes a kind of story that you don't really hear about often in the cubing world. And I think we would benefit more from hearing, to encourage people who are in my similar era in parenthood. Maybe they tell themselves, I can never do that, or I can't do that again, or that was, whatever reasons they want to tell themselves. The more examples we get of people doing things in our same kind of lifestyle, maybe I can do it too. So I have a very interesting story. I am getting faster despite getting older. I am getting faster despite having the lifestyle inhibition, or the lifestyle prohibitions of getting older with family and marriage, kids, bills, jobs, having to fix stuff around the home, being a dad. I am doing the thing and then some. So I want to use this as a way to encourage people who are adults, who are my age with kids or something. If you have a goal or something related to cubing or otherwise, and you find every excuse you want to tell yourself for why you can't do it, find a way, challenge yourself, set a goal for yourself, and become the oldest person to do X, Y, or Z, because that's what I'm doing. My goal is to become the oldest person. Right now, I think I'm the oldest person with a sub 10 average in competition. That's, I think, pretty certain. I want to set a goal to become the oldest person with a sub 1 5x5, sub 2 6x6, sub 3 7x7 in competition. So I got the 6x6. I got to do 5x5 at my next competition, and I've gotten pretty good at 5x5. I get sub 1s pretty regularly now. I don't average sub 1 quite yet, but I'm getting there. And 7x7, I'm trying to get sub 3. I have not yet had a sub 3, but then again, I picked up 7x7 and 6x6 in May. It is now July, so I still have room for improvement. I'm around like 330-ish for 7x7. I think I can get sub 3 in about a month or two if I practice, if I can practice. Again, finding time with kids is really hard. A lot of people who watch this, they may not understand because they're kids themselves. Their parents will understand, but I'm kind of in my own category in the cubing world. Not many people are going to be able to relate to, not many people can relate to my experience in general, but definitely in the cubing world, nobody really kind of understands what it's like to try to get practice in with a bunch of your kids running around and having to clean the house and take care of them. Usually all you do is cube. And I used to be there, and I used to be really competitive. I'm not going to be there ever again because it's a choice that I'm willingly making right now. I'm not going to go all in on the cube because I really care about spending time with my family. And I love my family, and this is in addition to my family. I bring my kids to competitions, not because they can really understand anything what's going on, but because I really want to create that environment of positive examples for challenging yourself and setting up positive memories and routines and family traditions for them, because that's not something I really had growing up. So again, in an era of cubing where we have a deficit of stories, I have a very rich story, and I would like to share that with the world to inspire people who may come from adverse backgrounds or different set of circumstances that you can do things that are hard. You just got to have the determination to do so. This is Coach Philip. I believe in you. I hope you believe in yourself.